Hey everybody, it's been a very interesting day. Sometimes this process of making videos is very, I enjoy sharing with you, but sometimes I find myself revealing things about myself, unintentionally sometimes to others and sometimes to myself. In curious ways, I made a video earlier, a response video, in which I used an analogy of, strange that I made it on this channel. Really, that video probably belonged on the LylesBrother channel, but here it is. It's here, so I'll follow up here. The video was, in that video I was talking about the interest in being alone, and that preference of mine, and how it's like this analogy of standing on a cliff where there's individuals, the society of man, welcoming me, inviting me to join them, and I feel this desire to jump off over the edge to dark waters below. The dark waters not being death, but being the mystery of the unknown, which I think that we can't plumb well together. I think that the truly going to the unknown places, we have to go alone. The Apollo astronauts could go to the moon as a group, but beyond that, I'm not talking about physical going places. I'm talking about the recesses where our interface with reality breaks down. Basically, the realm of ideas and the like. That's something we have to do alone. And I've got this visualization of a cliff, and my interest in jumping off the cliff to just smack hard on the water below and to feel the acute pain of impact, and to plunge beneath the surface and to have this acidic feeling that I just had pictured as an acidic, caustic type of environment. Not in a negative sort of way, but in an alien, foreign sort of way, biting at every sense, stinging into the ears, and if I dare to up through the nostrils, anything that leaks into the mouth will be steering. If I dare to open my eyes, they will burn. But nevertheless, and if I have to close my eyes, they grope with the hands. That's how I want to live the decades that I have left, the years, the days, the hours, the minutes that I have left, and I am eternally frustrated when I'm unable to do that. The routine of making a living of life is stifling to me, and I know it sounds very adolescent. It sounds like something that I might have said when I was 17, and I did say that I was 17. I just never stopped. Much of my life has been a push out away from, and I'm grateful for my family for giving me the foundation to stay behind. Otherwise, I would have been long gone. A long time ago, I would have disappeared into the desert. I know it, and no one would ever. I would have disappeared. I absolutely know that, and I would have been gone, because this impulse leads me ever farther away into the darkness, which is not a negative or an evil or a death. It is simply into this other place. I know I'm sounding very, very vague and otherworldly, but it's where this guy's mind lives. It's where it is, and it's a very positive thing for me. It's very exciting. I would jump off the cliff, throw my bodily headlong over the edge with great glee and joy, and I do every time I throw the pack on the back without any idea where I'm going and head off. When I hike in the mountains, I don't travel very far, because it's more really just getting the body away from the distractions of the reality of humanity, and into a place where the mind can attempt to break through towards what I call the original thought. This is all silly nonsense stuff, and I wish that I was, as I've always said, I wish I was one of those persons that could be more grounded in the world and doing better for others. I am this man. So anyway, I am free today. My daughter's downtown doing a test, preparation for a test, and Yumiko's at home taking care of her stuff. We're going out tonight later for Mother's Day. Had a nice breakfast with my wife. I've been wandering around on the bicycle this afternoon, and I had paused to stop and do a little bit in GarageBand, and then throw that into iMovie, and then post it up on another channel. A bit of trying to bring to sound and to images that idea of being at the cliff. And forgive me for indulging so much in my own interests and my own mental curiosity. I do feel very self-indulged in that, self-centered in that regard. but I thought I'd share it with anyone who might be interested, because I throw this stuff out, and some people write back to me and say, hey, yeah, I know where you're coming from. I feel the same way. And I know that even though I don't want to be around anybody, it kind of is comforting to know that that I'm not the only one as wild out there, and I'm sure that there are others. Maybe they'll find it some reassuring things. I remember the first time when I was a teenager, the first time I read Thoreau walking. I remember that one passage where he was walking from Concord out to his cabin on Walden Pond in the middle of the night without any illumination at all, feeling his way along the path, just with the utter darkness, just feeling his way along, slowly walking that 1 mile. And the sensation of that, I felt very lonely when I was a teenager. I felt very strange, and I felt a great connection to this man from the 19th century who spoke with such beautiful words, who wrote so eloquently, and described a sensation that I knew so well. So I want to do the same thing for anyone else. So I created this little video. I can't even remember what the heck the title is. I gotta give it a gosh, it's gone. I'll put a link to it. Anyone wants to see it, it's right up here. It's really weird. I did a crude drawing. I'm no artist. I'll explain a little bit of it. The voices are two. I had to do it myself. It's a dialogue between the group and the individual who's prepared to jump over the edge. Remember, this is not a jump to death. This is a jump to solo exploration. And the group is basically suggesting not just to that person, but inwardly to themselves as a group. And I try to give it an echoey sound as if a group were talking. Again, it's just my voice. I had to run 2 tracks, and the group is basically saying, "Stay with us. Don't go. It's dangerous. Don't stand. You're too close to the edge. Stay with us. What do you think? Do you agree with what we're saying?" Looking for that affirmation, that confirmation, that consensus that makes groups. It forms this whole thing, that a society that we have. It's very valuable. We need it, and there's a lot of people who are able to do that. And the other individuals, the individual who's a little closer to the brink, and you can see in the picture, the crude stick pictures. I got the inspiration for the stick pictures from a show I saw on TV the other night where they were using stick figures, and the expressions on their face are rather neutral. And the one individual on the edge, a little closer to the edge, away from the group, and just stick hands reaching out, and the one individual saying, "No, I'll be okay. I'm going to leave. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry about me. I'm going to go. I'm going to go off." And trying to convince not only the others that it's okay to do, but trying to convince him or herself to have the courage to move out. Maybe that's why I chose stick figures, so that they would not be associated with either male or female. Anyway, the piece then goes into, at one point, and there's sounds in the background. When I made the first recording, there was a leaf blower, a rare item here in Japan, a leaf blower running in the background. I didn't realize it at the time because I was listening to the headphones to something else on my other device. But afterwards I go, that's perfect, because there's this din of humanity, and the leaf blower would kind of be representative of that. I'm getting silly now, but representative of the din of the group, of the collective back there. And the din is going on, and the kind of the chorus is speaking to the individual. The individual in a clearer voice is speaking back to the chorus. The movement is coming. You can hear the kind of the sounds back there, and then there's this. I tried to make it in GarageBand, this little sound of falling, and that's when the one voice disappears, and all left is the chorus. The chorus becomes more characteristic. It's the only voice now, the voice of the group. They're then talking, and they continue their monologue. It's basically resuming the same thing. Stay with us, stay with us. And really, they weren't talking to that individual all along. They were talking to themselves, of course, and one another. And the individual is gone, and then after that, the group is silent, and all you can hear is the water. I tried to capture the sound of the churning water, the dark, black. The word that wants to come to mind is Stygian, but I don't want to use that word because that's got the whole symbolism of heaven and hell, and I don't mean it that way. But I don't know why it's going to seem like hell to those that don't want to jump over the edge, and it will seem like not heaven, but liberation and a joyful exploration to those who do take the plunge and never come back. And then we finally finish with close-ups of the black waters and wondering what might be down there, and the explorer who therein does his or her exploration. Well, I found some shade here at the cemetery, Buddhist temple. People are coming over here. I think it's time for me to sign off. People can come over and take care of their deceased ones. Thanks for listening, folks. I'll put the link up right up here by this rope, and it'll be down in the other part as well. Have a look if you want. Understand it's weird, it's strange stuff. I put it over on the GERD channel, where that kind of stuff really belongs.